From the AP, China slaps a 34% tax on all U.S. imports in retaliation for Trump's tariffs. Okay, so they're saying this is one of the reasons why the stock took a major drop today. And my attitude on this is just, wow, okay, thanks, China. Thank you for helping us. You know, for our goal is to sever this imbalance and problem that we've had with Chinese-made goods in this country for 40 years. China going, oh, yeah, we're going to make trade even harder. I'm like, thank you. Trump can't take all the brunt of this, can he?
Yeah. The biggest threat that China poses with this kind of context is about intellectual property rights. So China can do a real fast turnaround of any product that gets sold there, whether they be iPhones or software or whatever. They can reverse engineer it and make a new, make a version of their own. And what's possible is China going and saying, well, we're not going to deal with the United States, but they buy products and then they reverse engineer them and sell them for cents on the dollar to other countries. So it doesn't matter what we do to China. They're just like, oh, we'll take these products that normally people would buy from the U.S. and we'll reverse engineer them and we'll sell them from out of China to other countries, at 10 cents on the dollar.
This is why a lot of the major tech world has stopped having their main offices where they actually have intellectual property in China. My dad is part of this as well. They removed them because they kept getting their offices literally invaded with the police. They said, everyone give me all your USBs, all your phones, all your laptops, all your stuff. We need this information now as part of the Chinese government. It's due to CCP interests. They would literally just take it. It's within their legal right to do so, and that's why they stopped having their factories there, or not their factories, their idea centers there. Now all they have is just basic factories where they send it and just do the products, et cetera, they've already thought of because they can't risk losing the IP.
Yep.
Part of the justification for trading with China is we were like, well, it might not be really fair for us, but they'll embrace liberal democracy and they'll become more like us because we have this free market. And did that happen? No. They're just it just empowered the CCP regime, which is horrific. So it's so this didn't work. We're done with trading with China when it's not fair for our industry.
Yeah, it's actual fascism dressed up like communism.
Yeah.
Do you think that the younger generation looks at this, at least maybe for the ones that are paying attention politically, look at something like this as short-term pain for long-term gains? Because one of the things that seems to be prevalent whenever an election cycle comes around is things get incrementally worse. Every election cycle, nothing really changes. Maybe the gas fluctuates a little bit up and down, but in general, we become more dependent on other nations. Mm-hmm. Our job market shrinks. Wages do not go up with the rate of inflation at the time, and that it's been a slow crawl to a slow death for the country. Does the younger generation see this and think of this as a way out, or are they just not paying attention?
I don't know exactly. I mean, it's hard to say how much they're paying attention to this issue right now, but what I will say about young people is they want to burn the system down. And it's going to be right-wing populism or it's going to be left-wing populism. Right now, we're taking a chance on right-wing populism. That's why Gen Z men swung 30 points to the political right in the last 4 years. And actually, there were studies that found that it didn't matter the demographic. It was men, women, black, brown, white. All of them are more right-wing than millennials. So obviously they're taking a chance with right-wing populism and the MAGA right. But if it doesn't play out well for us in the next few years, I could totally see it going to full-on Bernie bro AOC.
I think that's the biggest gamble that Donald Trump right now is taking, is if this doesn't work out well for the country,
we're in trouble.
There's a serious chance that the left gets significantly more influential.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I don't think it'll be AOC, though.
Why is that?
Her brand is sour. Her brand is, there's a current flavor of leftist populist right now. So there's a reason why these young guys went towards right-wing populism. Mm-hmm. They may seek out left-wing populism or some type of it, but AOC is, let's just be nice. Her brand is not good for attracting these people back to the left.
Yeah.
There's going to be there would have to be a young, new face in populism that would be somewhat more, let me put it this way. AOC's bounced around too much because the left is incoherent. Mm-hmm. And so that's going to make it very easy to attack, insult, and it's unattractive. If a new young face comes in with left-wing populism from a rational standpoint, where the individual's background is logical, they might actually be able to attract some people from the right.
And there would have to be, there's a tinge of race-based elements to everyone from the squad that precludes that working. It worked for Bernie because a lot of people of all walks of life seem to resonate with his message. But even then, the left told him, it's too white, it's too male.
I don't...
the problem with the Gen Z Democrats is that they're insufferable. I'm not saying it to be mean.
Harry Sisson rise to power.
The reason why he won't is because he's smarmy. And so
that other guy from Florida, the other guy's horrible too. He's now has like a role
David
in the DNC.
Hogg.
That guy, he's the worst too.
So what the left would need is, imagine a young RFK Jr. I mean, like 22.
Yeah.
RFK is fit and he tries to be reasonable, but he is progressive. Like he called it Indigenous Peoples Day. I questioned him about this, and but he's willing to work with Trump because there are certain things he wants to get done in health. I commend him. If the left actually got a young guy who spoke slowly and calmly and didn't make smarmy face all the time, they would do a lot better. But Dean Withers, Harry Sisson, and whoever that other guy is, they always have this very smug look on their face. And that's attractive to a very certain subset of individuals, which is why young men do not go anywhere near this. Look, there's a reason why the hero's journey is so popular in movies. Young guys want to be the reluctant hero thrust into adventure, not the smarmy rich. You'll put it this way: what was the prince in Game of Thrones that everyone hated? Joffrey. There you go.
He was in Batman Begins.
Let me just tell you, Harry Sisson is Joffrey.
Yeah.
You know, like if I can make an example.
Yeah.
People look at him and they're like, you know what I mean? The left would need someone who's more valiant. They don't have that.
Well, here's what I'll say about
They got a himbo and they got a Joffrey.
my husband and I talk about like why you don't see any young male podcasters all the time. Like you'll see somebody like your age or even older, and it's because young men don't want to take advice from other men who haven't done anything in their lives.
Yeah.
Like what I'm going to listen to you. And like this Harry Sisson guy, it's like, what has he done other than like copy and paste DNC talking points? So if they have to find somebody who's had some life experience, who maybe has picked up a weight, and then, you know, the Hassan Piker guy is like one person, but he's a kind
The
of
internal
ridiculous
friction within the party also makes this very, very difficult. Like Trump was able to steamroll the Republican Party and take over. Yeah. They don't have anyone that's going to be able to fight the Nancy Pelosi's. You know, there's a reason why the members of the squad fought with the establishment for years.
Let me just give an honorable mention to the Krasensteins.
Okay.
They actually work out. Like, I'm going to give them that one, man.
Yeah.
When it comes to health and fitness stuff, they're aligned with the right on a lot of these basic things. Like, you'll see a conservative say, get to the gym and work out, and they'll be like, yes, let's go. And I'm like, I appreciate that. I think they're liars. Like, I think they're grifters, but we can agree on that. But they're not young, charismatic, but it is good they're fit. Why isn't there? Like, look, there's got to be some sociopathic CEO type who doesn't care about politics, who wants to rip Democrats off because he thinks they're dumb. Where is the sociopath on the left to exploit them and take over?
You mean the left doesn't be older by definition anyway?
Like David Hogg weighs 100 pounds soaking wet. Come on.
But the thing is, the left has abandoned males and masculinity by becoming the party of grievance. Right, the party of women that are upset with men, racial grievance when it comes to class and stuff like that. By becoming the party of grievance, they literally turn off any males that are like, I can do something. If you have any sense of self-confidence, you're not going to be attracted to the Democrats because they're going to tell you you can't do anything. And if you can, you've done something that has hurt someone else to do it. It's you've somehow taken advantage of someone. The economic argument is if you make money, you are doing it at someone else's expense. Then the other side of the Democrats are all racial arguments, and if you're a man, you're toxic masculinity. There is nothing appealing about the Democrat Party.
That's what I think the issue is probably at right now. The Democratic Party is largely female, or it's heavily female influenced. 70% of millennial women are Democrats.
college educated women. That's the whole base.
Right. So it is. So the issue then is, if you are a guy who is rational, reasonable with leftist talking points, you can't, half your talking points must adhere to cultural norms of liberal women, which are going to push away any young man. So I think it's an impossibility.
And even if they find one, they're going to tell him to sit down and shut up, and the other people are talking.
That's
it won't
why
work.
Joe Rogan got pushed out. That's why they say they're like, oh, well, we got to find a Joe Rogan for the left, and everyone knows. Well, you
had him.
Wait,
So
someone
bad.
chatted. David Hogg gained weight.
I mean,
That's a good one.
There's a cultural element to this too. Like obviously manufacturing jobs, like millions of them have left in the last 20 years. And yes, they're saying masculinity is toxic, but my husband was watching, I didn't watch it on the plane, but he did this like new Gladiator movie. And I guess like in the first few scenes, the like man and his like wife, the wife died in battle. It was like, what woman in like the Roman Empire is going to war? And like then in the Star Wars movies, right? They're all like these women who are
don't
like,
get me started.
leading the whole operation. It's like this is not, and women don't want this either. Like women don't want to be in charge and charging into battle. Like it's just absurd. And obviously, so there's like a cultural backlash from men as well. That's just, and then Trump, declares war on woke, and of course they're gonna just seize onto that. And Trump's a masculine guy. I mean, what guy in American history has taken a bullet and then got up and like thrown his fist in the air and said fight? Like Democrats can't compete with that.
Well, I think we have to repeal the 19th Amendment until women serve in the draft. So
I actually agree with that.
right. So I'll tell you, one of the biggest problems we have as a society is that we've created a special provision for women.
Yeah.
They were allowed to vote for half the population to go die. And so long as that is true, I mean, look, imagine if we said in this country, if you make more than $100,000 per year, you are exempt from, going to war. Mm-hmm. Like poor people would be like, no, what? It's like, yeah, we're going to draft all of you, but I make enough money to where I'm exempt from it. That's kind of how it was. And it's unacceptable, right? Anybody would look at that and say, that's not fair, right? Rich people would pay to have someone go in their kid's stead. What we have now is, and what we've had for 100 years, women got the right to vote without civic responsibility. That means they can vote for men to die in fires, to die in first responders. They can vote for men to go to foreign wars. That means overwhelmingly what we're seeing now with the Democratic Party, which is largely female, heavily female influenced, voting for war because they're the ones who they don't have to fight it. There's zero risk for them to do it.
Tim, I don't know what you're talking about because Hillary Clinton told me that women were the ones most affected when men die in war.
It's true, yeah, because they lose their brothers and their husbands and their fathers.
How offensive.
I say you can't vote unless you sign up for selective service. This
was the problem with Me Too. Like women want to be considered a protective class, but then they don't want to act like they are. They don't want to be protected. So they're like, we want to go. I'm going to have sex and have a free for all. Like we're in the 70s, but then they also want to have you ask 5 times when you're hooking up if this is actually consensual.
It's called Schrodinger's feminism.
You can't have it both ways. Like either we're a protected class, which I think we should be, or we're not. And this is like the tension in policy and in culture constantly between men and women.
Would it be your sense that the go get 'em girl, the boss bitch thing kind of thing, isn't that a minority of women? And do you get the sense that is becoming less common?
Well, I mean, there's definitely like a trad girl revolt happening right now. Like the most popular female influencers are all girls who like homeschool their children and live off the grid. It's a whole thing. And the left has actually come out and said, this is really dangerous and regressive and we have to put an end to it. So there's an attraction, I think, that and this is the other thing about, I was saying Gen Z is turning right wing and traditional. They have an attraction to traditional gender norms that's very disturbing to millennial women, but it makes sense when we've hit rock bottom. It's like I don't want to be a boss babe and like have my hormones jacked up because I'm working a work schedule for a man.
It's because there was still like this lie that you were going to be ultra successful to millennials at that time.
Or this lie that you can have it all. Like
yes.
I can be a mother and I can give everything to my kids and I can also have like the big professional job. And the reality is you have to make sacrifices in life. Like you can't have it all can't have everything.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.